Okay, cool. Top 5 best tracksuits of all time, part 2. So in my last video, I did feel like I did leave out a couple of tracksuits that should have been in the list. And to be fair, I should have did a top 10 list instead of a top 5. But regardless, we are back for part 2. So yeah, this is just the fill-in spot for basically the top 10. But before we start, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I know it's a big ask, but I reckon we can do it. So yeah, please subscribe and yeah, let's get into this. Alright, cool. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we have is Ben Jart. And a lot of you probably don't know what Ben Jart is. That is the reason why I did put it at the number 5 spot. But basically, it's a UK like streetwear slash designer brand. They have sort of emerged high-end clothing with like streetwear clothing as well. And when it comes to their tracksuits, I want to say they were the first ones to actually create a designer tracksuit. The materials that they use for tracksuits and just the way it's laid out looks very professional and very sleek. I know a lot of you people outside the UK have probably never heard of this, but for the simple fact that it's clean and it sort of introduced a designer tracksuit into like the fashion industry, I have to give it that. So for that reason, that is going to be Ben Jart tracksuits at the number 5 spot. Okay, so now coming in at the number 4 spot, we have the Armani tracksuits. And please tell me if you see this, because I surely can't be the only one, but whenever you see an Armani tracksuit, you just automatically assume like Polish or like a Russian person wearing it. I don't know why I picture that. I'm not racist, I promise. It's just, you know, just the way I think. To be fair, it's probably one of them ones where every time I've seen someone in this, they're either Polish or Russian. But these tracksuits are very decent. I remember one time, I want to say 2014, where everyone was wearing this black, white, Asian, Russian, you know, just a lot of people was wearing this. The popularity of this tracksuit sort of died down. I don't really see too many people, you know, wearing this apart from obviously Polish and, you know, Russian, but you know, it's still there, isn't it? But anyway, I don't really have too much to speak about the Armani tracksuit anymore. So moving on to the number 3 spot. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have is Gucci. Obviously this was in the honorable mentions in the last video, but like thinking back to it, this should have been at least number 3, like in the last video as well. Obviously one of the first designer tracksuits to actually get mainstream attention. Not even mainstream attention, I don't know what I'm talking about, but just become very popular. I can't really think of any other like full-on designer brand that has created a tracksuit and it's banged like that. I'm thinking of Louis Vuitton. They haven't really created a tracksuit that is, you know, up to this caliber. Neither like Burberry or any other designer brand really. And thinking about it, that is such an untapped market. I wouldn't see the reason why Louis Vuitton wouldn't make a tracksuit. I mean, thinking about it, it would sort of like devalue their brand as a designer brand, because you wouldn't associate tracksuits with being designer suits. So I do understand that in that sense. But yeah, I do love this tracksuit. A lot of things that go well with this tracksuit, especially the Gucci all over print. I do want to say that is my favourite all over print. I believe they started that as well. I mean, I do like the Fendi print, but the Gucci print is just notorious. And yeah, just all round well presented tracksuit. And yeah, there's nothing really wrong with this tracksuit. And yeah, so that's going to be the number 3 spot. Alright, I can't even lie to you, I'm very stuck between the number 1 and the number 2 spot. So let me just quickly give you an honourable mention. So I only have one honourable mentions because I've cleared out majority of tracksuits anyway. So the honourable mention is Essentials. Essential tracksuits are alright, but they're just too new and they haven't been around long enough to actually build a name for themselves. And they may be comfortable, but in my eyes they're just very basic, and you know, I don't really gravitate towards them. But you know, give credit where credit is due. Back in, I want to say 2020 to 21, they were actually banging. Okay, I've come up with my decision, but before that, please subscribe. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I believe we can do it, so yeah, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, let's get back into this. So yeah, without further ado, coming in at the number 2 spot, we have Stone Island. And I can't even lie to you, this is such a goated tracksuit. I know what I said about the Essentials being basic, but Stone Island tracksuits are also basic, but it sort of helps it when it comes to the badge on the side. Because just a clean black Stone Island tracksuit, and then you've got the badge just popping on that, like beautiful. And this tracksuit is very iconic, especially in the UK community. If you don't know what football hooligans are, research football hooligans. 9 out of the 10 photos, they are wearing a Stone Island something. And yeah, just a very iconic tracksuit regardless. And yeah, that is the number 2 spot. So coming in at the number 1 spot, you might have already guessed it, but yeah, without further ado, coming in at the number 1 spot, we have Ralph Lauren tracksuits. And I was very on the fence about giving this the number 2 spot instead of Stone Island, but I chose to give it the number 1 spot. Just for the simple fact of how timeless Ralph Lauren tracksuits are. I want to say in any point of history, like 2015 to 2005 to 1995, whatever time period you would wear this tracksuit, it is still in fashion. And you have to take your hat off to that, because not every brand, not even a like Pacific item from that brand could have that long lasting longevity. But Ralph Lauren tracksuits have managed to do that, and yeah, that's why I respect this so much. And also the design of it, I know it's very basic, but just having an all coloured tracksuit and then you just got the Ralph Lauren logo just popping, you know, that is straight up gas. And out of all these tracksuits are one of the comfiest tracksuits. But yeah, that is going to be Ralph Lauren coming in at the #1 spot, and that is going to be today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, a comment, and also subscribe. And until next time, I am out.